And we are back, and we just finished watching 1948's. Sorry, wrong number. This is rated approved with a runtime of 1 hour and 29 minutes. We actually caught this on Noir Alley on TCM, and it comes to us from director Anatole Litvak, written by Lucille Fletcher, who wrote the original radio play and then was commissioned years later to write the screenplay, in which she kind of padded it out, but not in a bad way. It was a critical success in radio format, but it went on to become one of the studio's biggest hits of the year. This stars Barbara Stanwyck as Leona Stevenson, a woman who comes from privilege and basically gets whatever she wants. And in this case, she wants Henry, played by Burt Lancaster, who she meets at a, I guess, college dance. He's dating another girl named Sally at the time, played by Ann Richards. But Leona's got him on her crosshairs, and she goes after what she wants, and she ultimately winds up getting him. They take a long honeymoon, and when they come back, she's like the heiress to, I guess, a pharmaceutical fortune run by her dad, who's very wrapped around her finger.
Yeah, she like totally manipulates that guy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
She keeps like feigning illness, basically. And
Yes.
anytime something doesn't go her way, suddenly it's just like, oh, I don't know what's wrong with me, my heart. Yeah.
Yeah. But to his defense, I guess, he only does it because he feels, well, it's his daughter and he loves her, and his wife died in childbirth. So he's, I guess, trying to make it up to her, but he's not doing her any favors because she is a spoiled brat.
Oh, yeah. No, she's completely spoiled. He indulges all of her melodrama that she puts everyone through around her.
Yes. And this obviously does not make for a good recipe because she henpecks that husband of hers to the point.
Oh my God, yeah. That montage they show where like she won't even like he like holds up like a glass of
champagne at the
wedding, and she puts her hand on top of it and was just like, nah.
Right, like you're all done here.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was so extra. Have you seen this before?
I've never even heard of this movie before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this was actually a pretty nice treat.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'd seen it before. I haven't seen it in decades, but what'd you think?
I enjoyed this. I didn't think it would be that interesting considering the nature of how the story is told with just this woman bedridden. But they really kept you going in the story. They really made it interesting. They the additions that they made, I guess, to the radio play, because apparently the radio play was it.
Yeah,
it was a one-woman show. She was in the bedroom the entire time, and she was communicating with people over the phone. And this is back in the days when you would basically dial the operator and say, "Operator, get me KL5967." Yeah. And the lady in the operating booth would have like this giant board with wires, and they'd be jamming things into the board. And there were chances you would basically end up on some sort of crossed connection where you would just hear somebody else's conversation. And that's the premise of the story. She overhears a murder being plotted, and she's just the drama queen to begin with. So she hears this, and suddenly she's just like trying to get everybody on the phone, and her husband's not answering his phone, and he was supposed to be home, and they gave the maid the night off, and it's just this big snowball of paranoia and insanity that eventually reaches like the chilling climax at the end. It's really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for, like I said, a film that uses that mechanism. I wasn't expecting it to be that interesting. And Barbara Stanwyck,
fantastic.
She's just great in it. She goes from being just this annoying, bitchy lady to just this terrified, completely panicked woman who is basically almost like detecting or coming to understand exactly what's going on and how it's going to affect her life.
Yes. I mean, because everything revolves around her.
Yes, yeah. I mean, but in certain points, things revolve around her because she's the center of the universe. But in this case, she may be right.
But it was funny because, I mean, I guess we can speak to spoilers. This movie's from 1948. I mean, it's been a while. So
it has been quite a while. Yeah.
It's what is it now? 75, 77 years old. Holy smokes. This movie is 77 years old. At the end, do you want to talk about the ending?
Well, basically, the way the story goes, as we mentioned, she is the wealthy heiress to this pharmaceutical fortune. Her father basically gives her husband a job, and he clearly has some ambitions of his own. In the beginning, he's willing to just sort of like roll with it. He goes with her. She's very forceful. She basically even tells the other girl, she's like, I like him too. And
Sally, yeah.
She tells Sally, she's like, well, I like him too. And when I like something, I get it. And she makes no bones about it. Like Sally,
she knew that he was her fella, and she still went after him.
She did not give a damn. It was sort of like, were they friends, her and Sally? Because Sally sort of treated her with respect.
Yes, I think they were just acquaintances. I mean, I think Sally had more positive feelings towards Leona. Yeah, but Leona probably looked down her nose at Sally.
Oh, yeah. She was like, you're just a bug I'm going to step on to get my man. And there she does. She gets the man. Like we said, Burt Lancaster, I forgot what his character's name was. Henry. He's just willing to go along with it. And I think initially it's because he just kind of wants to get out of this podunk town that they live in. And she's giving him all this opportunity, but it's not fulfilling for him. And when he tries
it also comes with a cost, right? If you want something, you have to go through me.
Exactly.
She throws it in his face, like when he's trying to get the apartment for them. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, I don't understand. Like, I like living in my dad's house. It's big, it's spacious, and I'm not going to let you use my money for, like, wild endeavors or whatever she said.
Yeah, she won't let him have any say. And even when he wants to make his own way, where he's, like, interviewing for a job, she sabotages that. Yeah. She completely sabotages. She tells her dad, and her dad is just like, well, that guy I do business with, and if that guy wants to keep doing business with me, he's not going to look at you. Basically telling this guy, you're
doomed.
We own your ass, and you're going to do what my daughter wants you to do.
Yeah, and you're just going to fall in line. Yeah.
And why wouldn't you be happy for that? You get to sit in a chair and do nothing all day. This is like the American dream. So he wants to have his own thing, and eventually throughout the course of the story, you find out that he is making moves to, I guess, make his own path.
In a not so up and up sort of way.
Yeah, I mean, and clearly trying to go the correct route is not going to work because he is the small man in this whole scheme of things, and he just doesn't have the power. But he does have access. He's smart. He's smart. He's able to coerce other people to his way of thinking, or convince them, I should say, because he doesn't actually threaten anybody. And they come up with like a scheme, him and his co-conspirators there, that kind of escalates to the point where the government's involved and the cops are involved, and things start going haywire.
Yeah, agreed. I'd seen this before. I haven't seen it in probably like 20 years, and it was a treat to see it again from start to finish. The performances are electrifying, and hats off to Barbara Stanwyck, who is one of the amazing actresses. I think they said in the IMDb trivia this was her 4th Academy Award nomination for acting, and rightly so. I mean, she is just gangbusters in this. She is unlikable. She is pathetic. You feel bad for her. You want to strangle her. There are moments where she can be loving, but it all comes at a price, and a very heavy price. And then you ultimately find out through the narrative, and she's slowly piecing together this story. So initially, in the beginning, we forgot to say that the operators, I guess, crossed the wires, and she hears a plot for a murder. And she tries to report it, and no one's paying any attention to her.
Well, I mean,
And she seems to have
she's
a
kind of limited
of being just
of being a pain in the ass.
A pain in the ass, because even like when she's talking to the cop is he just wants to get her off the phone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, what's the cop really going to do?
Right.
It's sort of like, I heard people plotting a murder on the phone. And it's just like, okay, do you know, like, whose murder? I don't know.
Right. When? Where?
When? Where? Who's involved? I don't know. It was just on my phone. I heard it on my phone. And it's like, well, what could you do? And this guy, for some the policeman, for some reason, is taking care of a baby.
Yes.
There's just like a baby dressed like she was in a pageant or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lost child.
Yeah. It's sort of like, what is going on here? Clearly, people have their own issues going on. So a crazy lady on the phone is not a high priority.
Right. So then as we go through the story, we get a little bit of backstory of Leona and Henry. And ultimately, we come to find out that Henry's nefarious activities have led to like a governmental investigation, and they're closing in on him.
Yeah.
And his ex-girlfriend, Sally, sort of reemerges in their life. And it's interesting because Leona doesn't ever seem to think that it sort of felt like she was convinced that Henry would never leave her. I mean, when they did get into that one fight, it seemed like she kind of faltered, but for the most part, she was very steadfast in her belief that he would never go on without her.
Yeah.
Or do anything without her approval. And yet he concocts this crazy scheme that was going on for, what did that guy say, 7 months or something?
It was going on for a while, and then I think they were in the process of kind of escalating it because there was a third party involved.
Who they kind of dismissed.
Basically, what they were going to try and do is, instead of working with that third party, they were going to basically go into competition with that third party or push him out of the market and cut him out of his share. And
that guy finds out.
That's the type of guy you don't do that to.
Right. Yeah, because he finds out.
Right. And then on top of that, you have the fact that the police are closing in. They know where the base of operations is. They know who's the parties involved. And so they're moving in, and that's where Sally's husband comes in because he
works in the DA's office.
He works in he works in the DA's office. And that's why Sally got in touch with Henry, because she heard his name being mentioned, and her husband was like, "Didn't you used to date that guy or something like that?"
Right.
So that's how she becomes involved. But yeah, you're right. I forgot what the main character's name was. Leona never once believes that her husband's going to run off with Sally because she's Leona, and it's just like, why would he do that? That's impossible. It's this assurance that she had absolute control over this dude. And it's funny because as the movie progresses, you kind of see that her assurance that she has control over him is really shaken by the end and shattered, in fact. And it's funny also because you think that I'm going senile. Frank?
Henry.
Henry, goddammit. Henry, that's the name of my first cat. Come on, Henry. That Henry, he's trying to do all these things, and it seems like not only he's trying to do it for himself, but maybe he's doing it to escape from Leona.
Possibly.
But then at the end, I don't know if it was because like the jig was up and he knew that no matter what happened, everybody was pretty much screwed.
Well, I think also because what was his name? The other criminal, they had already arrested him, so the murder was no longer necessary.
Right. I think his name was Maroney or something. He had
Mariano, something like that.
Morano or something like Morano, I think his name was.
Yeah, and Waldo, the chemist, had said you no longer need to raise the funds because this guy's been apprehended.
Yes. And so,
but the hit was already ordered.
It was already on its way.
And Henry was an active participant because the plot was presented to him, basically. Like, you're going to give us the money, and this is how you're going to get it.
He knew exactly what was going to happen, and at the end, he was telling her to get out.
Get up and go to the window and scream.
Get up and go to the window and just scream as loud as you can.
Right.
But she was, oh, I'm an invalid. Oh.
Yeah.
But she
Meanwhile,
was, she
she'd
was
been
so
moving
panicked.
around that whole time. She could have left.
She was like kind of staggering around, but we also find out that she's full of shit.
Yeah, there's nothing
She's
wrong with her.
absolutely
Even
full of
the
shit.
doctor
there's
was
nothing
like,
wrong with her heart.
yeah,
It's all this sort of psychosomatic induced
nonsense that she
invalidity.
fabricates.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very much a manipulator. It's kind of funny because
Even manipulating herself, because
yes,
she fully believed that she was incapable of moving around.
yes, she's like, oh, I'm ill, I'm bedridden.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, it's like if you wanted to get out of that bed, you could. And it's interesting because this was again part of the Noir Alley lineup for Sunday, and it was interesting because you don't really think of Leona as kind of like the femme fatale, but she sort of does have the characteristics of one. She's like this beautiful, alluring, manipulative woman who ultimately leads some man to his demise. And through her actions, she forces Henry's hand in a lot of ways. If she had only, in that moment, like when they were going to get the apartment, because I feel like their marriage was still okay at that point. I feel like if she had acquiesced to him.
Yeah, if she had given him like a couple of little victories, he probably would have been happy.
He would have been happy. And I also feel like initially he really did love her because he was willing to make these sacrifices and put up with this stuff. But at some point, it just became too much.
Yeah, I don't really even think it was like, oh, I want to get rich. It was just sort of like he wanted something of his own.
Right.
And she was not having any of it because it was like, I either have total control or you're done. And he wasn't willing to let all that go.
Right. What did you think of the ending?
I really like the ending too. I forgot what there's something I saw online where like people like track when the title of the film is said in the film itself, and this waits till the very last minute to do that, and it's done so well.
Yes.
When the phone gets answered and they're like, "Is this Leona?" or I forgot what they ask, but the guy's just like, "Sorry, wrong number."
Yes.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect the way they ended that. As you like to say, no notes.
Yes. Yeah, seriously. This was really, really well done. Hats off to Lucille Fletcher, the original writer of the radio play and then the screenplay. I appreciate the studios going back to her. And,
that was pretty cool.
Using her and her just masterfully expanding on what was already a fantastic story. I mean, she introduces, I mean, like to your point, it was originally Agnes Moorehead and it was a one-woman show. And here in the screenplay, you get the backstory of her father, her friend, her husband, the side characters around them, and nothing feels wasted or not needed in the plot because everything eventually sort of pieces together and you see exactly where this is all going.
Yeah, I was told, and they used flashbacks effectively. There was like a flashback inside of a flashback.
Yes.
She did a really good job expanding it, and I know that was like one of, if people had criticisms of it, it was that, oh, you're just padding it out, but this didn't feel like padding out at all.
No, not at all. If anything,
this
she
felt like all of
this amazing universe.
Yes, like all of this stuff was vital to the story.
Absolutely.
And it just fleshed out this universe of this world that these people lived in. And great job. Just phenomenal. And like I said, that ending is just pitch perfect.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
Loved it.
Absolutely.
Right down to, sorry, wrong number.
Absolutely agreed. I mean, from Saul Polito's cinematography, which is also beautiful, I think, and the story is the main MVP here because without that story, you wouldn't have such a great film. The actors are all fantastic. Barbara Stanwyck. I mean, I love Agnes Moorehead, but I understand why the studios didn't use her. Barbara Stanwyck has always been like this gorgeous, like just phoenix in these movies. She is just fire and she is like the no nonsense broad, right? She just is like not taking anybody's shit. I mean, I think that same day they also played Double Indemnity a couple of days after, and that's another just showcase of what a freaking amazing actress she was. And also you have young Burt Lancaster, who at this point was kind of an unknown, but this definitely cemented his stock. Here's this gorgeous man who's just being henpecked by this woman. But again, Burt just does a really great job with it. And
I think that it was interesting. What's it? The host of Noir Alley,
Johnny Muller. Yeah.
Johnny Muller. Yeah, he pointed out that some people were like, it's strange that they picked Lancaster, but they wanted Lancaster because it really sort of emphasized the fact that, oh my God, why is this big dude, this man, being kowtowed by this woman? And it just. It really worked. It made her character stronger. It made his character more interesting. And
her just infinitely unlikable.
Yeah, exactly.
Infinitely. You almost
at the end
don't feel. I mean, you do, and you don't almost feel bad for what happens to her because it's like,
at the end you do feel. I mean, at least I did. I did feel a bit of sympathy for her.
Yes.
Because it was.
She didn't deserve that. No,
she didn't deserve that.
Well,
Henry should have just basically said, "This marriage ain't working," and just left. Or she could have just acquiesced and been like, "Okay, you can get your own job."
Yeah, or your own way every once in a while.
Because it wouldn't have affected her at all, really.
No.
I mean, what would be the difference for her? She would still be rich. She would still be the heiress.
And she'd still be married to him.
She'd still be married to him. And who cares where he goes during the day? So long as he's got some level of happiness, then everybody should be happy. But then we wouldn't have this awesome story.
Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to highlight, Anatole Litvak does a fantastic job as a director. I bet you know the other film that he released in the same year, another powerhouse movie, The Snake Pit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. We should probably get that on the docket because that is another one. That's Olivia de Havilland, and that's another movie that I just find really amazing because it deals with this mentally ill woman, and that's not stuff that people really talked about.
No.
Especially in the 40s, right?
Yeah.
You're just expected to kind of just deal, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, crazy people, they were treated just like kind of like animals back then. Remember we were watching Harvey and like the mental institution there?
Oh, yes.
And like the guy was just like, the orderly just wanted to beat the hell out of people so bad. And he was likable. He was like, oh, the orderly, he's gonna beat up some of the lunatics.
Yes, and he pulled out what was that?
He had a sap with him. Yeah. He was like ready to go. And he would like just calling them loonies. Even the psychiatrist, even the head doctor was just like, the lunatics here or the loonies here. Oh
yeah. But yeah, so that was a banner year for him. Snake Pit and this. Sorry, wrong number. According to IMDb, this is to buy rent on Prime, but I feel like for a 77-year-old movie, you could probably find it on the internet somewhere and not have to pay the rental.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So, absolutely check out.
Well, what would you give it?
1948.
1 to 10.
1 to 10. I'm going to give this a 10. This can't be better. It's an hour and 29 minutes. It's the sweet spot. It's rated approved. You can watch this with kids. You could watch it with your grandparents. You could watch it with your parents. No politics involved. Just a good story.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 9.
All right. Sorry, wrong number. We caught this on TCM, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere on the internet. And again, 1948, rated approved, 1 hour and 29 minutes. This comes to us from director Anatole Litvak from Lucille Fletcher's original radio program, which was expanded into, from what I read, it was a 20-minute radio play.
Also called.
Sorry, wrong number. And got expanded to an hour and 29 minutes, and no filler, as far as I'm concerned. Just a great tight script and amazing performances, and everything came together. The costuming, the everything. Just absolutely don't miss it. Check it out. Sorry, wrong number from 1948. And with that.
Oh wait, and absolutely don't forget to like and subscribe and comment.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, look at that. A smooth segue.
Nice segue. Good for you. Look at you bringing up the rear there. All right. And with that, we will bid you all a
good night.
Good night.